From a small personal budget to a huge corporate budget that requires a team to manage, budgets of all sizes exist to create healthy, priority-first spending. It's about controlling where money is spent instead of wondering where it went. But reading between the item lines, a budget is also a reflection of values. Nanaimo City Council follows a strategic framework inspired by the public's feedback during the Reimagine Nanaimo engagement process. City Plan, Nanaimo Reimagined, divides the community's priorities into 5 city goals. All of the city's services and capital projects are guided by these values and reflected in the financial plan. A green Nanaimo is all about creating resilient and regenerative ecosystems and aims to reduce the impacts of climate change while reducing the greenhouse gases that contribute to it. A great example of this is the Midtown Gateway project at the corner of Northfield and Bowen Road.
The Midtown Gateway project will transform an area that was impacted by past industrial activity into a revitalized neighborhood gateway. So once the project is fully completed, it will include, among other things, a restored wetland that was impacted by past coal mining activity and create a public nature area that includes walking trails as well as serve as a detention pond during storm activity. As there are many components to a project like this, there are also many funding components. So we use a combination of reserves, such as asset management reserves, development cost charges, strategic infrastructure reserves, as well as recoveries and possible grants.
From walking, cycling, and driving on our network of roads to the recreational trails that connect us to nature, a connected Nanaimo is all about how we move within and throughout our city. Recently, the city began planning street and corridor projects with a lens on multiple modes of transportation.
Funding for complete street projects come from many different sources. Asset management reserves can be used to fund the renewal of existing infrastructure. The Community Works Fund can be used to fund new infrastructure. Water and sewer reserves will be used to fund the water and sewer components of the project. Often there are provincial and federal government grants available to help fund these projects, and this allows us to keep our reserve balances available to fund projects in the future.
Safety and health has to be a priority in every city, and it's certainly been top of mind in Nanaimo in recent years. From affordable housing to community safety to the benefits of recreation, there are a lot of priorities in building a healthy community. As a career fire department, Nanaimo Fire Rescue is a crucial part of the city's budgeting.
So the city has undergone significant growth over the past years, and the demand on the fire services has increased as well. A 10-year fire master plan was created in 2022, and one of the key recommendations was to add additional firefighters. The majority of staffing, including fire, is funded from property taxation.
As an empowered Nanaimo, reconciliation, representation, and inclusion are key to creating a community that's culturally strong. Another important element in empowering our community is arts and culture.
Arts and culture enrich our lives by providing enjoyment and appreciation of all creative endeavors. They also bring together diverse networks of people and provide an opportunity for intercultural and intergenerational understanding. The city has several annual operating budgets that relate to arts and culture. For example, there are budgets for public art, concerts in the park, the street banner program, events for the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, downtown events grants. As well, we have operating grants for the Port Theatre Society, the Nanaimo Art Gallery, and the Nanaimo Museum. Sometimes art is incorporated into large capital projects as well. And an example of this is the totem pole installation at Fire Station Number 1.
And finally, for Nanaimo to continue forward as a prosperous community, we need to build upon the values that make us resilient and make our economy thrive.
The city works closely with the Nanaimo Prosperity Corporation and Tourism Nanaimo and provides funding through an operating grant each year. These organizations work with the community, local agencies, organizations, and businesses to help strengthen our local economy.
It takes a lot to budget for a city that's 100,000 people strong and growing. To learn more about the city's financial planning, visit www.nanaimo.ca.